and will continue to settle if not corrected. Adding more to the load of the flooring will accelerate the problem. The poly is not sufficient, and that along with poor ventilation will cause moisture conditions high moisture conditions under the structure. I know that we have looked at it in more than $100,000 just to repair that side of it. That was one of the reasons that we're looking at a new city hall along with a multi-use city hall. So community center, which everybody wanted in this community from the time I've been here, to house our museum, the Nelson Museum, and then of course a little bit larger space for us for our meetings and things and events. So I'll be speaking with Cherokee County about that project. Hopefully they'll do a joint project with us as well on that, so we'll have support from both of the counties. Easter event is coming up. The quarry gave us, they have donated a popcorn machine, commercial popcorn machine for our movie nights, and they are also donating 2,000 eggs for our Easter event. So we need to have stuff and eggs. So, got that coming up, and I've enlisted Miss Sue Rogers for some support with just the planning phase of our event. Is anybody else interested in helping out with that? Okay, good deal. So I know most of you work, so it's not a thing. But if you want to be involved in that, I want you to, to feel free to do that. Michael Kidd is the other one. I reached out to Michael about our phase 1, so we can go ahead. We may be able to get that started as early as fall. We're just looking now at drawings, and I'm going to have him come back in, go back over the rendering with us, finalize all the plans, and then do the drawings. Is everybody good with that? Okay. Alrighty, and then Kelsey and I have also looked at some auditors for our state audits, yearly state audits. We've been using Casey Joe's firm for, I don't know, since I've been here. So 6 years, and our
Obviously, 2007.
does our policy say that we would enter every 4 years? So we're doing that, along with the fact that it seems like the extension issue, we've not been on time, and this is the 3rd year. So we want to look at some other ones. We're going to have those folks come, and we've got one set up, or we get 2 of them set up.
One was set up there just kind of work session, but I asked them to wait till the March meeting.
Okay.
I've requested pricing from Rushton. They're doing their Pickens County audits now, and we're getting pricing from DC Joe too.
Yeah, that way you guys will get a face-to-face, because that right now I think we're spending roughly 15 to 17,000. What's that? 7. So it's gone up 2,000. So we were spending 17,000 for audits, which is par for the course. But I'd like for you guys to have an opportunity to hear the new, what those auditors offer and what they bring to the table before we make a decision on that. Okay.
So when do we usually get our audit? I can't remember.
We just had one, and it's not finished
They
yet.
pay in January 17th.
We got all the information.
Our fiscal year ends June 30th, so normally they're in like October-ish. But they filed an extension this year. We were ready. They're just, I know they're busy. I don't think there's many places that do government audits, which makes it a little more difficult too. So, and they do a great job. There's no complaints on their end, but it's just.
I don't like being late.
Yeah, if we're late too many times, we're listed as non-compliant, which means that we're not eligible for grants and stuff.
And I mean, they'll have an opportunity to provide their information as well. I haven't had a chance to have this conversation with her yet, but how to correct that on her end if we end up going with her. So, any question? I know I just covered a lot, but is there any questions? Okay, we're still on schedule for movie night. One other thing. So, the end of May, again in June, and then either probably September, because July and August is so hot. So we'll get a chance to use our new popcorn machine. And if anybody has any movies or know of any good family movies and you want to submit your thoughts, Swank is the movie company. So go on there and see what movies are out and, you know, nice family movie. I don't even mind an oldie but goodie.
Yeah, we just have
I've been watching long ago.
Yeah. And Miranda is out tonight, but she left her finance report in here, 7C. I'll go ahead and we'll read these off. Kelsey, I'm gonna let you do this. I did not wear my glasses and I cannot see hardly see nothing.
The general fund, $1,120,388. Cash reserve, $168,188. The CARES fund, $206,683. SPOS 2, $4,080. We actually just closed this one out today. SPOS 4, $155,400. SPOS 5, $890,796. SPOS 2020, $1,007,837.
Thank you. Okay, and then the rest of her revenue packet is in here, so you guys can take a look at that at your leisure. Yeah, she's got a complete packet there for you guys. Any questions about that? You take back to her. Her daughter's out. I'm worried out sick.
20% of our budget remaining for this year, which is
Okay. Everybody good with that? Alrighty, unfinished business. Drain cleaning and update price correction. So Kelsey's been working with these folks. We do have a handful of drains left. Probably, according to Matt and according to these folks, about a day. We have about a day's worth left. And then Kelsey mentioned that when she looked at it, they had told us $3,800 a day.
the original quote and what Barry originally thought was that they could come out and do the drain. I think it was underdog coming from Cherokee Avenue. And I guess less than a day. But when they got out there, there was a lot more silt and stuff in the drain pipe than what they originally anticipated. So it actually took over a day.
And it was rock, right?
It was, yeah, there were huge, big chunks of marble in there. So they worked all day. They actually ended up going after 6 o'clock, which they billed, however, I mean, it's broken down. The copy of the invoice is attached to it. So they ended up having to come out the next day. I think they were there from like 9 to 12 finishing that up, but they billed by the day. So since they were here, they went ahead and started hitting all the drains that Matt had a map made out of the ones that they could do, that the guys could clear out versus the ones that they can't get in to clear out. So they started going around and hitting all those, and there was only a handful of them left to finish coming out, but we can't approve that one. It's over our limit to approve. So they were supposed to send an estimate. We haven't gotten it. I emailed the guy again. The guys that came out are the ones that were supposed to send it. Apparently they didn't tell him, so there's just some miscommunication. He emailed back today stating that it should be basically the same rate they originally quoted us, which was the $3,800, which they ended up actually billing us less than they quoted. So my understanding is that it should take a day or less. But that's never promised until they get in there. But from what they told Matt, there wasn't a whole lot left to do.
It looks like their hydrovac crew was $2,790, which was almost $1,000 less than what they quoted us.
And we've been waiting for Cherokee to come do this for about 2 years, I think. So, I mean, and Cherokee does a great job when they come out, but we're just kind of a drop in the bucket, so to speak, and it's a lot of equipment to get up here for a little bit of work.
So the question is do we want to go ahead and have them come out and finish the drains? Do we want to spend the money and have them complete the drains that's left? And I'll go round robin on that one.
Yeah, suits me.
We'll ask William, and James is a yes.
What areas are left?
I do not have the exact ones. Matt would have a better idea of it, but he had like it said GIS map from Cherokee that he had checked, he had the big printout of it.
Just the same one we had at the meeting.
I think so, and Matt went and just printed it out, so he had like 4 or 5 pieces of paper taped together, and there were X's and circles based on the ones that he could get to versus the ones that they couldn't get their equipment and clean them out. So there's a handful of them left.
Well, I'd like to see them all get finished.
Yeah, I would too.
You said yes for you?
So they have, it's a day, never the
It's
day or
gonna be
night.
a day. It'll take them all day if it's a handful, but they worked really fast.
Yeah, I
last
mean,
time.
I
I think they did a good job,
so,
yeah. Nathan?
Sure.
Okay, so
Well, I'll also need the price correction on this too. We had originally approved, I think, the 3,800, and then it came out more than that because it was more than 1 day, so it would be just 1 minute saved. We had approved for that, I just need it fixed, so we'll need on it next year.
So do you want to go ahead and approve the additional,
Just the total amount that was paid, which I think is
and
6565,
then the date that's coming up?
and then the additional.
So can I get a motion to approve of the previous visits for a total of $6,565? Okay, that's John, is a yes. Need a second?
Second.
James, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. And then also, I want to get, I want approval to have them go ahead and come out to finish the drains for a 1 day. We're going to go with the 3,800, it'll be less, but go ahead and go with that. So can I get a motion for that? Okay, John, second.
Second.
William, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. All right. Next up is our statewide mutual agreement with Cherokee. So there's been some questions about that. I had a couple of you reach out to me. And so I spent some time just going through our last agreement versus this agreement. They're identical. The one thing that that I'll go ahead and point out here is with this agreement, like most all agreements that we enter into, I make sure that the city has an opt-out. So at any point that we say that this is not good for our city, then we can opt out, okay? Let's see. This agreement, once executed, is valid until March the 1st, 2028. The agreement of the participating parties to extend the term of the agreement at the time during the last year of its original term or the last year of any subsequent 4-year term shall extend the term of this agreement for 4 years. Each 4 years extension shall constitute a separate agreement, okay? It also says that, where is it at? Any participating party, that would be us, may withdraw from this agreement by mailing notice with notice of withdrawal approved by the governing authority, which is you guys, of such political subdivision, but no such withdrawal shall take effect until 30 days after the governing authority of the withdrawal political subdivision has given notice in writing of such withdrawal. So you guys would have to vote to withdraw, we would have to send a letter. So this statewide mutual aid here basically just says that in case of a catastrophic event, that the counties would supply our city with what we need, whether it's supplies, manpower, deputies, those kind of things. And then they also have the right to bring in like FEMA and different things. If we decide that we don't want that here, or we are not liking the way that it goes, we can withdraw, but it will take 30 days. The benefit of it is, being a small town, we don't have a lot of supplies. We do have a lot of older people here, and that was my reasoning for, for putting that out there and just saying, hey, I do think it's a good deal. If it gets out of hand, we can opt out. So does that help everybody?
So during the first 4 years, have we used this?
No. This is for like a catastrophic event, like if something catastrophic happened, like we had fires on both sides and we were in jeopardy of, This covers all of your firefighters, your EMTs, this covers all of the service folks that would come in and help our city out. So, but I mean, I think it's a good agreement to have. If something happens and it went sideways and FEMA came in and decided that they're gonna take over, then that may be something that we would wanna look at and say, yeah, we don't want that, you know. So. Has everybody had an opportunity to read this? Okay, and like I said, it's the same from last year. She put both in here. And I'm sure, William, you've probably seen this already with Cherokee. Okay. Do you have anything to add to it?
No, it's just up for renewal every 4 years.
Anybody else have any questions, Nathan? Chrissy? John? All your questions answered? James?
I'm back.
All right. So that said, can I get a motion to approve the continuance of the statewide mutual aid agreement with Cherokee County?
I make a motion.
James? Second? John? All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Okay, next up is C, 80 Blue Ridge Avenue, city-owned property disposal. Okay.
Is that gonna be the same property discussed in executive session?
Yes, I have the valuation that I didn't bring out here, but that way if anybody wants to see it, they can see it. This is just a second how we're going to sell it. So if anyone wants to see it, they can see the report, but there's another property we're also discussing there, which is more why that was on there. But I have the reports printed out.
The city policy property needs to be sold either by sealed bid or auction. So do we have a preference on how we want to do that? I'll ask Jeff first. Jeff, what are you seeing? Yeah.
It depends. I mean, I know y'all have done sealed bids before. It probably doesn't get as much exposure that way. As if you use a real estate agent. Of course, if you do sealed bids, you don't pay a commission either. So just your choice. If you want more advertisement of it, then you probably want to list it. And they'll arrange to still do it in some kind of auction format that meets the requirements of the statute, kind of like a deadline date, you know, for bids, et cetera. That gets it out there more. You would pay more. You pay something.
So what real estate companies do you see working with the cities? Like, is all of them, or?
Yes. I mean, if it's this is just land, so if there's somebody that can.
I mean, we want them to put costs on it so we got the best price for the property.
That's what I have, because he had something
Okay.
come in and do an estimated value. I just can't have that.
Okay, gotcha.
But,
Okay.
they can
Yes,
see that.
so I mean, you could do one or both. I mean, you could do sealed bids first, see if it reached an acceptable value, and if it didn't, you could say we deny the bids, and you could decide to then list it with a real estate agent if you wanted to.
I like
It's up
that
to you.
idea, but what do you guys think? We'll start with you, William.
We were having some minimum on the sealed bid, weren't we? Fine, we'll give them that a try first.
Okay. James?
Yeah.
John? Chrissy?
What kind of assurances can we have that it can't be subdivided back into 2 lots?
I'll look back at it and see, is that
We've already
which one
made
is, no,
one.
which one we were gonna do the deed restriction on?
We did, and we already made
Okay.
a link for some, so that should be covered.
I think that was, if I'm thinking of the same one, that was going to be part of the advertisement and part of the deed
Yes, that can't be
is
something.
that it remains that way. Right? Did we advertise that one time before?
No, but
We
we
talked
were,
about
you
it.
talked about it, but we didn't do it.
I think that's what we were gonna do, because if it's part of a, if it's a deed restriction and we advertise it's going to be a deed restriction, any buyer takes it with the agreement, if that's the case.
Well, it has one parcel number now too. Like, we already had it combined in one parcel, one parcel.
Well,
number,
if
one
it
address.
meant zoning, it could still be subdivided,
But I think for the zoning,
What
I
to
think
look
it
at.
meets, because it's a half an acre now. Like,
I'd rather have some verbiage in there too. Look at,
that would keep it
well,
from,
agree.
even with our zoning, I don't think it would be allowed to be reduced again.
whatever you want to do.
Okay, so it's sealed bid, we agreement on that to start with A, and we'll talk about pricing in our executive session, so, all right. Anything else that we need to discuss with 80 Blue Ridge Avenue out here? Anybody have any questions? Okay. Alrighty, then we'll move on down to the Kiddy Park. The parking, curb and gutter, and drainage. Okay, we're bringing this one back up again. We found the pins. And then, the Haycock has not gotten back with us, and the county, Cherokee County said it would cost, they couldn't do it for near $6,000. Or let me give the exact.
Well, these are all different options, so.
Hold on.
Cherokee County said that you could asphalt all everything from now and then.
Yeah.
So they recommended using concrete. Because the cost would be much higher.
Yeah, that was the concrete. So 25,550 is the total.
That's everything.
That's for everything, yeah. The demo and pour of the concrete parking with the curb sidewalk, so no one hits the fence. Also stop bumpers installed after the concrete sets. That's 13,250. The other option, moving the fence back in front to join up to the playground, which I think that's the one that
They recommended.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that they recommended. Join up the playground edge and gain more sidewalk and parking, doing away with the area that cannot be mowed between the fence and the playground. This does not include concrete and taking the fence down. It does include concrete. I told you I got my glasses and I can't see nothing. And then, go ahead, Nathan.
Did we talk to the company that put that playground up about moving the fence line?
We did, yeah, that's what we're talking about, Kerry Pool. And then they also came out, looked at the swing. They said the footers were good in there, you know, but due to all the rain, it may have settled a little bit, but it was stable and it was good. The other thing that I asked that I was gonna report on is the tables being inside the play area, as long as they're 6 feet away. So I've gotta have one table moved, and I wanna move it to the other side, so. And then, let's see, the option this is the option also, is backfilling all the playground area with topsoil up to about 2 to 3 inches from the top of the black border and slope it away from the playground. We need something there. The rain is just pushing all this marble up to the top. I mean, if we could put something down and either mulch it or seed it and grass it, we need something. I mean, I picked up a lot of stuff out there. Some of those pieces are like this big. So we've got,
I'm a big fan of that option just because I think it's a giant tripping hazard.
I think so too.
This whole thing is just a big, see kids fall on their faces all the time there. It's just a weird setup.
But they said moving the fence line closer to the play equipment's not gonna cause it. I mean, that's fine. I thought
They said it was fine. I didn't like that personally, but that's just me. I mean, I like having a buffer there. I liked having a buffer there between the, you know.
I thought there were limits, which, I don't know, maybe it's just with swings.
Yeah, the swings have to be a certain thing, but, I mean, maybe if you move the fence back and put a sidewalk in front of it, like what he's doing there, that wouldn't be too bad. And then the buffer's out in front of that.
I think
Well, that's kind of like the same way the playground is down here, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's giving you a sidewalk, it's giving you some type of impediment, so that if a vehicle were to come
Right.
through there, it's giving you something to stop it. Because we actually had that happen at this playground. Somebody came down and then hit the gas instead of hitting the brake, and they actually hit two of the fences. The guy was able to turn the wheel, but he hit the chain link fence and then hit the wood fence. But we had the bumper stop things and the sidewalk
I'm gonna let
and
you
the
read
fence.
option 2 again because I can't see that.
It's to move the fence back in the front, so it pushes back up to the playground edge, so it gives you a larger space for the sidewalk and the parking. So it would do away with the area, because there's a small strip of grass that is not big enough to get the motors in. So it does away with that area between the fence and the playground. And this does include extra concrete and taking the fence down and reinstalling it. I think Barry had recommended some of that too, because he came out and met with Bubba and Evan Howell was down there at the same time.
Yeah, I like that one too. That's, and I think that's the one we talked about before. And then also backfill the playground, so it would be the 6,500 and the 5,800.
But that was, and then to do the curb and sidewalk. We got the 13. Because that's your parking,
Yeah, that's
the
your
first one.
Yeah.
So if you do all of them, it's the 25.
So what's your thoughts, Nate? Do you want to go first?
I'd just like to know we're not violating any kind of playground rules, moving that fence closer to the equipment.
We're not. I already talked to Carrie Poole about that. But I mean, if you want to call her, feel free. It's the same setup that we had at this one down here, at this kitty park down here. Where you've got your sidewalk and then your fence is just on the inside of your playground area. So it's the same, it'll be the exact same as the park down here, the big park.
I think it's gonna be closer if you move that fence.
It's still inside the playground area. I mean, the fence down there is inside the playground area, and then you've got a sidewalk. And then you've got your paving, and you've got your bumpers out from that. Should I have a picture of that? I don't think I do. What's your thoughts?
I guess my only, the fence either has got to go one way or the other in order to get rid of that strip that you can't mow, that's just a waste of space. And it's kind of, again, it's kind of like a tripping, I mean, you can get stuck in there. It's a weird area. But my thing with moving the fence closer, and I'm just saying this because I'm not looking at it, but if you're on because the playground's kind of raised with the black things, you know, does it make the fence not tall enough? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't, because so you've got your raised area, and it's just gonna be it's gonna be just on the outside of that. Like
Right, but if you're standing in the playground,
What's the height of it?
4 foot.
you see what I'm saying? Like if you're a little kid standing on that, you're losing a foot of fence, basically. So is a little kid gonna flop over the fence?
He's gotta replace it. We could go back with a 6-foot fence on that side if you want.
I mean, I'm not looking at it, so I can't really,
Let me
you know,
think about it.
but that was just my first thought with moving that fence right there because it's higher. The playground is higher than the ground.
If we go over 10, we're supposed to do bids, aren't we?
You can, but Haycock hasn't bid. We asked him to, and the county says they can't touch it with that. So technically, you got that.
We said something, I think Mark Eubanks about it too, but he worked through.
Yeah. But it's not something they wanted to bid on. Don't know why.
So we don't follow our policy and just do this. I thought it was our policy too, over 10.
Well, it is our policy. So if the county said that they could do it, but it would be more money than this, so they opted not to bid on it. Or they could do it or we could give it to the county and let the county do it for more money. And then Haycock hasn't responded. Are we going against our policy?
I mean, it's up to y'all, how you want to solicit bids. Sought it for 3 people, and got one, and sought it for 3 and got one, I guess.
Just want to make sure I wasn't doing anything. Oh, I thought I had a picture of it floating here. Do not. It is raining. No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Well, I also don't wanna, it's a perfectly good fence. Don't wanna get rid of a perfectly good fence and put another fence. You just put up the fence.
So maybe they could just take this and go, if they move it back, they're gonna have to take it down anyway.
Right.
But they can probably use the thing and probably add another little bit of top.
Right, yeah. That's good. It's still pretty, I mean, it's still pretty tall. Like if you're a little kid standing right there, you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
I know
don't
exactly what you're talking about.
flop over the fence into the parking area. I mean, just not.
Kind of defeats the purpose.
Right.
So, yeah, if you just went, you can show that to Jonathan, if you went another 2 foot
Right,
higher,
did another, right,
2 foot on top of that.
yeah.
We talked to the fence company that originally done it, about moving.
Just move them over there.
No, he would move it, that would be part of this.
All we have need to do is raise that up another 2 foot.
No, no,
2 foot.
Yeah.
We've got the quotes
Yeah.
separated into 3 sections.
Because they
Moving the
include the
fence
curb.
is that middle one only for 6,500.
some
It's optional to
sidewalk.
be moving the fence back in the front to
Yeah,
join it
that's-
with the playground edge, gain more sidewalk and parking, doing away with the area that cannot be moved between the fence and the playground.
The second
Back
one.
and
So
Includes the
it
extra
does
concrete,
require
extra
concrete fencing
Fence
to
for
read.
some reason. There's like this little strip of grass between that
Right,
lot
right,
and there
right.
that they can't get their mowers in. So that's what we're talking about. Because he's worried with the height. Like if it's pushed back, there might be an issue with height, or we might be able to add like something to the top of it to
That makes sense.
offset that.
But what about the sidewalk, where they have a curb
Mhm.
Yeah.
to the parking?
Yeah.
Then the second option.
And a lot of that was to help with the drainage, which these were actually pictures that he sent to show the water issues.
Yeah, that's in the first one, is
And-
curb.
And that was more like an entrance to showing
And
like that
sidewalk.
space.
And the number 3 option is one.
To fill in all around this black border.
Right now, it's about this tall.
Yeah.
So it's kind of,
So if you fill it in with dirt, it's like grass or something next to it, you don't
we
have
could get
that.
topsoil and then
Just
seed
the
it, could mow it, but it would still be,
ledge.
It seems to me that option 2 and 3 with a higher fence.
So you really have to do one to get your parking.
yeah, the paid parking and the,
So you need
Yeah.
that 2?
so it would be, to do a complete package, it would be all 3. The first one is for basically tearing out what's there now and putting back concrete parking with curb and sidewalk.
But this is also to help the drainage issue too, which is part of the reason they went buried down there.
Yeah, so Barry, our engineer, you haven't met Barry Holbert yet, have you? Barry Holbert, our engineer, met Bubba down there and actually talked to him about the drain. We were having a lot of drainage issues. And what fixes to put in place, and also the ADA stuff, what to put in place that would, A, fix our drainage, and B, help. Right now, if you when you open that gate, it's just a muddy path full of rock or marble, and large pieces of marble. It's worse than that. So, yeah. So these were the fixes that Mary came up with.
So these are not really options, this is a complete solution.
This is a complete solution, yes. And when the county was here doing Kennesaw Avenue, we talked to them about that, and they could not touch it. So. Any more questions?
So where does the money come from?
Slots.
Slots?
And the paving's in there for doing that project. And it'll complete that project with the exception of just some trees, and we want to plant some things around in there to make it look a little, put some ornamental trees and things in there, make it look nice. We cut 3 trees down on the back, and the quarry has said that they would be more than happy to donate and labor and even help purchase some trees for our park to make it look nice. So.
Well,
Y'all ready to go?
No?
Would you like to go?
Did you have any comment?
Yeah, I've been making them all along.
So there's enough room outside that fence now for parking with curb stops.
Right.
Not a sidewalk, I don't think, but there's enough room outside.
Demo and re-pour concrete parking with curb and sidewalk so no one hits the fence. Also installed bumpers, bumpers installed after concrete set.
Yeah, it would be to do the parking and a regular sidewalk.
In
I
the
think.
space that's there now.
Yeah, and if they move the fence, it would just make a wider
And
sidewalk.
that'll give us, they can line it out for an ADA parking space, all that. And then you said that fixes the area inside the fence
The
where
bottom,
it's now.
yes, that strip in front of the fence is probably about 2 foot wide, I think.
It's 5 feet wide approximately, that's the other thing, it's not unknowable, I'm sure we have a push mower.
Yeah, the push mower would do it, just the
Yeah.
riding
It's approximately 5 feet off, so.
Is it 5?
Yeah, we put the fence back in virtually where it was at before.
Okay.
It's about 5 feet off the face of that, so it's definitely mowable. I also know that we haven't made any effort to get anything established down there that I've seen, seed, straw, anything there, so working on the parking's one thing, I'm not in favor of tearing that fence down and moving it and all this other stuff first. Getting the parking area straightened out,
Yeah.
entrance coming inside the gate, probably. But if there's enough room there, get the parking in right, curb stops to keep people from hitting the fence, I could go with that.
So we've got, you're for the full option? You for the full option, John? Chrissy? You for the full
Yeah.
option? Nathan, full option?
No.
Okay. So I guess we'll vote on it. Can I get a motion to approve Holcomb grading and hauling for the full option for $25,550?
I'll make a motion.
James, get a second.
I'll second.
John, all in favor? 3-2.
Ask for opposed, just to make sure.
Yeah, well, I gotta
Oh,
have
opposed.
to record all of it, so. hang on.
Opposed 2? Next up is our asbestos abatement, 48 Spring Street. City received 3 quotes for asbestos abatement for 48 Spring Street, ICG 5,400, Global Restoration 5,601 cent, Southern Demonstration and Environmental 5,850. There's very little abatement here, correct, Kelsey?
Yeah, the only asbestos they found was in a sublayer of linoleum in the kitchen, a scrap piece of linoleum in the attic, and then I think it was the flashing around the chimney on the outside. So, and Southern Demolition Environmental is the one that did the testing.
So approximately 200 square feet located on the bottom layer of the kitchen floor, 75 feet rolled up bundle located in the attic, and a 10 square foot of scraps laying around in the attic. And then it's a 10 square foot of black tar located around the base of the chimney rock. Anybody have any questions? After looking at the bids, we need to decide which one we're going to go with. So we've got ICG at 5,400, Global Restoration at 56 in the middle, and Southern Demolition Environmental at 5,850. You guys want to use the lowest one? ICG's done work with us before. I've not personally done any work with Global Restoration, but they are redoing Marsha Heaton's house at the top, so
They did
and they've done a great job.
the mold stuff in this building. Is that right, James?
Do what?
Didn't Global do the mold remediation in this building?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jonathan Schooler. So they're both reputable. And then Southern Demolition Environmental is Gina and Matt Ragsdale, I think, going on. They've been to a bunch of the meetings here. They bought a bunch of property up off of Rebus Mountain. So they're all pretty local folks.
Well, we got a $5,000 project here with 3 bids on it. For $25,000, we only had one.
So, well, we had the county and we also had William that didn't respond. Or he responded, he just didn't, he's not giving us a bid. So there's $500 between ICG and Global Restoration, and then there's roughly $400 between, or there's $200 between ICG and Global Restoration, and there's $400 between ICG and Southern Demolition. Actually $450. Any thoughts on that?
I like the detail of Global's bid,
It is nice.
very specific.
It is nice. I've not personally worked with them before, but they seem to have everything, they've done work inside the city before, so.
Yeah, they took on molded insulation.
We did.
Put a few back in.
Think of time frames, anybody?
I'm pretty sure they also need to get to it pretty closely. The only one I did not get a definite from was Southern Demolition and Environmental, and there's more to that on it. It has nothing to do with it.
Anytime we've called Chad with ICG, he's come right out, to be honest with you. I mean, within a week.
He's a good contractor, I just didn't go with the low bid on something like that.
We've used him before. He did the concrete out front for us and, paved
And the
this
wall.
area over here in the wall. He did a good job for us.
Yeah, we've had nothing bad to say about any of them. They've all been like
Great
great.
contractor, I don't have any problem using them.
Can I get a motion to approve ICG for the asbestos abatement at 48 Spring Street?
So,
Okay, William, can I get a second? John, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Now, we have new business. Next up is an executive session. Can I get a motion to adjourn to executive session?
make a motion to adjourn to executive session.
William, can I get a second?
Top second.
Jen? Can I get a motion to adjourn executive session?
A motion to adjourn.
Okay, Nathan, I got Nathan first and second. John Alford, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. And can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Nathan, may I have a second?
Second.
Nathan, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you.